Absolutely good to see you here. I'm John Zidar, December 6th, Monday. This is On Top and Hot, brought to you by PBU. Yeah, I always say Pennybois Alerts, but I want you to remember Pennybois University. That's an education you will never forget. So here on Top and Hot, I look at OTC stocks, penny stocks that have got potential that could run tomorrow or next month, but we look at stocks that got punch. And I got a handful of them today that I want to show you. They all had some news, had them kicking, and if they weren't kicking today, by golly, I think they're gonna be. So come along with me and I'll show you what I found. So the first one we're taking a look at is NSAV, NSAV, Net Savings Link. We are doing this on the OTCmarkets.com. I always start my initial research on an OTC stock here because it's the only site FINRA and the SEC put all the filings and the stock information for investors. That's right, it's actually here for us. So why go Google searching? I've told you where you can find it. All right, we are looking at NSAV. They finished today at just over 3 cents, had just over 6% gains. They are on the pink tier and are current. Verified profile and a transfer agent, and they've got independent directors to boot. Need these if they're going to uplist to the QB on the OTC or the NASDAQ. All right, for what it's worth, the company's description, NSAV Holdings' vision is the establishment of a fully integrated technology company, which provides turnkey technology solutions to the cryptocurrency, blockchain, and digital asset industries. That pretty much says it, but you can get a bigger picture when we look at the news. So, what was her volume like today? Ouch, 50% down. So she was down 50% today. But, you know, I'm not actually looking at this as a runner. We're looking at this because she had news today, and the news is rather important. So she could move tomorrow, but I definitely think it's going to build up her reputation and build up her value. So that's why we're looking at her, because she's going to grow. Maybe not tomorrow, but she's going to grow. So she was 50% down today in volume. What is the share structure on this company? Oh my God, we didn't have to look at that, did we? 4.7 billion shares. Wow. All right, a bit of an overkill there. Finances. Now, I've got to say, I am surprised by this. There's nothing here, and they've got a lot going on, but to tell you the truth, they've been building. This whole year, they've been building up in their sector, which you're going to see here. So I guess it makes sense. But I expect to see revenues coming any time because basically they're all done. They're ready to launch everything right now. So let's see what we've got over here for disclosures, see if there's any material changes on 8Ks. Nope, we got nothing. So news is what we got. Okay. Now what you're going to notice here, and I'm going to go back just a little bit further. There we go. That takes us back to September. And you can see they're talking about crypto trading desk. NFC announces exclusive luxury brand NFT token bonus for shareholders. A lot of cryptocurrency stuff here, lots of deals. I mean, there's a lot going on. So it's just easier for me to come over here to their disclosure and just read it. Now, it's a ways down, but they've got it underneath their share count, and it's right underneath, right there, issuers, businesses, and product services. And you can get a rundown of what they own, what they actually have, and what they do. Boy, does that make searching for information easier. And this all happened in 2021. As I said, they've been putting this stuff together this year, and they're just now getting it finished. On August 9th, 2021, the company launched a centralized cryptocurrency platform, NSAV Exchange. The company plans to commence operations as soon as the legal, regulatory, and compliance issues are completed. And this August 9th was a big date for them. You're going to see on the chart when they announced this back in July. Oh man, it was the most this company's ever done on the stock. The next piece of news said that on September 17th, the company launched a wholly owned NSAV Premium OTC cryptocurrency trading desk. The company also holds 40% stake in Superchain Capital Ltd. This is a Hong Kong version of the OTC cryptocurrency trading desk. Yeah, another country. October 27th of this year, that was just a month and a half ago, the company launched its wholly owned NSAV decentralized cryptocurrency exchange, NSAV DEX. They got a lot of crypto exchanges going right now. And then out of the clear blue, they come out with this. The company owns 95% shares in Tiger Brands. I'm familiar with Tiger Brands, formerly called Tiger Hemp Brands. I do believe they're still involved with hemp. I could be wrong in that, but I think they are. And then they own 70% of the Shanghai medical consultation company that rubs elbows and hobnobs with some big companies. They collaborate with pharmaceutical giants like Pfizer and Bristol Myers Squibb, and they do clinical research with industry leaders such as Eli Lilly and Medtronic Foundation. So you can see they've got a lot going on. They have the cryptocurrencies, they have all the exchanges. They just launched, which is a piece of news that came out today, they just launched their own native token, the NSAV DEX token, which is being sold on their exchange, which makes total sense. And they got a lot of information about that. But they've expanded to just one step further now, and that's today's news. NSAV announces partnership with Metaverse Network to launch world's first DeFi GameFi platform. That is decentralized finance, game finance platform. Check this out. So they're spinning out into the metaverse, so they've made a partner with Metaverse Network, also known as MNC, and they are launching the world's first decentralized finance, game finance combined app, DeFi GameFi, known as MetaFi, which offers users play and earn abilities just for participating. So they get the entertainment and they get to earn rewards while they're being entertained. Now, they can actually protect their own identity by buying an NFT and getting an avatar. So they're expanding into NFTs as well. That is in the metaverse. NFTs can't exist without the metaverse. Now, they tell us that this is going to be a game changer in the industry because this is an innovative way of staking. It's an evolution system that applies a game-like strategy to the crypto market. I don't have a clue what it is, folks, but it sounds very intriguing and interesting. But even more intriguing and interesting is the next piece of news highlighted in red. The company further announced that the DeFi GameFi venture with Metaverse Network will go public in New York in Q1 of 2022. So in the first 3 months of next year, they want to take this company that they're talking about right now today, Meta, maybe META, right? They want to take this company public, get it its own ticker, spin it out, it'll be its own company. And if you own shares in this company now, when it spins out, you get a dividend. You get free shares in that new company. So they've got a lot going on here. Now, just so you have an understanding of what MNC is, if this helps at all, MNC is a centralized app that transforms diversified users to decentralized universe D apps. It's a playground that supports both creators and users, giving them access, creating a link between the present universe and the metaverse so that the two can work in harmony. And that's what it's all about. And I've said this before. We have to make a connection between the metaverse and our world. If we keep them separate, it's just going to be an extensive entertainment. They want it to be practical, useful, applicable in our daily world, our lives. So they're going to mix our world with it as easily as they possibly can. And they're on the cusp of doing that. So now they've got all the cryptocurrency, they've got all the exchanges, they've got their own token, and they've moved into the metaverse, even have NFTs, and there's going to be some game, and they're going to make money on it and be able to reward the users who play it as well. So it's pretty exciting news. I think the company is going to continue to grow, and it's been in the social media a lot, off and on, all because of this news. There's a lot of news. This company was not shy about putting out PRs. And speaking of that, let me go show you now on the chart what their initial, it was on 7/9. Let's go back together just so you can see it. 8/23. 7:30, one more here maybe, 7:16, there, right there. Okay, NSAV announces August 9th, 2021 launch date for cryptocurrency exchange. See the date here, right there, 7/9/2021. Let's go look at that chart now. So that's the chart for NSAV, 6 month, 4 hour, and we're looking at it on my TOS. That's Thinkorswim, and I got it for free. You can too, man. Just sign up over at TD Ameritrade, get yourself an account. Man, they don't ask for a deposit. It's free to sign up. You don't even have to trade with them. It's not like they check with you, and you can use this platform for free. It's a deal. All right, you want to guess where the July 9th date is? Yes. You in the back. Sally, you're right. Right there it is. Yeah, that is July 9th. The news came out that they were going to launch this in August. And look, folks, it just took off. Down here, it started at about just over a penny. Just over a penny, and it went to 14 cents. So you're looking at 1,400% gains. Now, they didn't close the exchange. It hadn't even opened yet, and they lost all those gains. So people were very excited about it, but everybody back here took their profits and, well, they abandoned ship. But nothing changed, and everything has been being worked on all through this time. And you can see the price here is 6 months ago. And I'm a little low right now, but the price right there is just about the same 6 months later. So hopefully if you had bought back here, you sold here, and now you can buy right back in at the same price you bought in back there. All right, let's come in on that 5 minute, 5 day. All right, so I was a little low. So it was a little higher, but still it's about the same, right? We can see our 200 on the 5 day is coming through here, and it is now coming up. Now remember, not looking at this for a short hold. This company is now expanded with all of its cryptocurrency exchanges, got its own tokens. It has other cryptos from other companies that it is holding on its exchanges. There was lots of news about that. We didn't cover any of that. There's just so much there. And now they're moving into the metaverse with a game. And we don't know exactly when it's going to launch. It may have been in that piece of news. We don't know exactly what it's all about. But folks, they're on the cusp out there. And I really think this is going to move up and grow. I think we're going to see some good gains out of this company. And right now, after 6 months, it's at the same price it was at. And it is at about 3 cents. Now, you could wait for another dip. You know, let's see. Let's go back 1 month just so we can get a feel here for it. All right, so she has been coming down. She hit a low bubble here, and I wonder how far back I can go. I think I have to go all the way here. All right, yeah, so we're really not on a low. The low is quite lower, really quite lower. But you can see right there is about as low as it really wants to get. Right in this area. It almost touched it here, did touch it there. That would bring it all the way down to about 2 cents if you wanted to wait. If you're impatient, you can always get that small position now, 20 to 30% of what you want, and watch it. If it dips, you buy more. On the dips, you buy more. Never buy everything all at once, folks. Buy it in strategic moves so that you're always getting ahead. Okay. In saying that, she does look good. We do have a rising RSI, a rising MACD. The volume is nothing impressive here. Coming in close on those last few minutes. You know, I don't see anything inevitable for it tomorrow. But looking on the long run, I see this company definitely being in the right sector with the right products, and multiple exchanges in multiple countries, and Hong Kong is no little feat. That's a good place to have an exchange. We don't see any revenues on the books right now. Everything is just happening now. So get ready for next year to see some revenues coming out. And that's when this thing is going to jump. All they have to do is hint about making money, and this is going to go somewhere. All right, speaking of going somewhere, let's go look at the next one. This one is FWAV, FWAV, Fourth Wave Energy Inc. They finished the day at 41 cents, which is pretty lucky actually considering where they were. I saw this earlier. Wow, I thought, what a buy opportunity. And now when I show it to you, half the buy opportunity is gone. But it's still worth looking at. This is on the QB, that's the middle tier, so all of their financials are audited. However, in saying that, they don't have anything to be audited. They got no real money on the books. They do have $1 million in assets right now, but they're running at a loss because of the expenses. But that's going to change. That's why we're here right now. So what was the relative volume around this company today? Actually, it had some volume. The news obviously got some people excited. They went from 68,000, roughly 70,000 to 45. So you're looking at 6 times as much volume. So there was definitely some increase there. And what's their share count? Oh, great. Look at that. 14 million shares are in the float. I do believe that's right. It could be higher. We don't see anything here for the unrestricted, and that is about 10 months old, so it's possible it could be higher. So let's just say it's between 14 and 47. But the chart should give us some indication if it's a small float, although 47 should still be moving it pretty well. What else can we learn here? Financials we looked at, any disclosures, anything current here? Well, they did have a 10Q, and that's what I looked at to get their financials. So news is what we've got. Now, I can come over here and show you, and this is something you may want to read, is their description. Fourth Wave Energy Inc. is a clean tech company with divisions in green, zero carbon alternative energy. Utilizing our team and knowledge, we are harnessing the earth and sun through technology to provide a carbon-free future. Now, I was also reading that they had some stuff that they were doing with GPS. Now, everything that they were doing, they've been letting go of. Everything that they were tied into, they're just letting go. They're spinning out. Here it even says, GeoSolar Technologies files S1 registration for spin-off from Fourth Wave Energy. This is what they were doing, but they don't want to do it anymore. They want to just send it off and let it take care of itself. So today some news came out. Fourth Wave Energy Inc. signs a merger agreement to acquire Edge Mode. This was a serious pivot. They quit what they were doing, and this is what they're starting to do. The merger is expected to close in or before January 2022. So, we've got a month, maybe 2 at the most, upon the completion of ongoing due diligence, as always. The company has executed an agreement under which it will acquire Edge Mode in a reverse triangular merger. We won't go into all that. The acquisition of Edge Mode will allow the company to pivot into the crypto mining industry with an initial focus on Bitcoin mining. Edge Mode is an emerging cryptocurrency mining and high-performance computing technology company focused on rapid growth and deployment of US-based data center locations, generating ever-increasing hash rates and Bitcoin production. Edge Mode currently has mining operations in New York and Illinois, with future planned expansions in North Carolina and Texas by 2022. Edge Mode has 600 megawatts of contracted hosting capacity forecasted to come online from Q1 of 2022 that will power the scale and profitability of both mining and HPC operations. With the fast pace and demand within the crypto mining industry, our obvious ambition is in full uplisting to the NASDAQ or equivalent exchange when circumstances permit. We intend to move forward with that goal in mind. That comes from the CEO. There you go. Now, a lot of companies say this. They do. You want to let everybody think that you have big dreams and that it keeps the stock moving. But there you go. He did say that they plan on uplisting this to the NASDAQ. Now, this could be another spin out. They've already spun out one. They're doing that right now at GeoSolar. They could have plans to just build this up and spin it out too and then take on another one into their nest. Maybe they do one pigeon at a time. I really don't know. In either case, Let's see if there's anything more down here. Money. Edge Mode is built by a team of experienced and successful entrepreneurs that have worked together for more than 10 years in other successful ventures. So they're not a startup company. They know what they're doing, and they are going to help Fourth Wave now start mining Bitcoin. And that's all they're doing. There's nothing else. But looking at the value of Bitcoin, and maybe they think Bitcoin is going to surge to that $100,000 soon, and they want in on it quick. So this is going to be their new way of making money. I don't know. The first 3 months of next year, things should be taking off. We should see some income coming in. So let's go take a look at this chart, because it was god awful at the start of the day, and at the end of the day, not too bad. Matter of fact, it took away all I wanted to show you, but let's go look at it anyways. So that is our 6-month 4-hour look. Obviously there was some news here about something that really pushed it up. Look at that, we're up at 81 cents, and that took off from 22 cents. So you had about 4 times, 3.5, 4 times as much. And she fell really fast. I mean, probably faster than she went up. And it went sideways, and she's had some growth here, slow. It's been slow. You can see she is riding up on this 50. She comes down just below it and takes off. She had a good surge here, and then today, with that news, she fell. And I really don't understand it. Come take a look at this on the 5-minute, 5-day. There you go. That news came out, and I don't know if it came out at the beginning of the day or it came out right here. In either case, didn't come on with good reception, did it? Not at all. So this thing just fell right down to a low of 36 cents. Is that a true low? Let's go back. No, see, it's been way down here to 14 cents. So that's just a low in the time frame that we're looking at for the 5-day, 5-minute. But people looking here saw that low, and it bounced up, and it just kind of went sideways. But here at the end of the day, it took a big leap, and I'll be darned, it fell. I thought it finished up here at 54. So she's back down here at 41. And she was at 60. She's been at 60 for the last couple of days. And if I go back 10 days, what do we got there? Oh, gee whiz, very volatile, huh? Look at that jump. And then back down, wrapped up, back down the hard way, and coming back up. She definitely has a lot of volatility. I'm going to say this has a 14 million float and not a 45 million float. This thing is definitely bouncing around hard. I want to look at the 1 month here. All right, so she bounces when she has the volume. You can see she comes down fast on volume, and she goes up fast on volume. Boy, that was hard. I don't see any volume here, and that's a pretty juicy jump. Darn sure is. Pretty juicy jump. And that was a huge jump itself right there, but that was more of a pitch and a drop. So that really didn't count. So we are at a very stable price right now. That's where it sits. So if this news kicks in, if they get these crypto mining farms or whatever you want to call them all running, and it sounds to me like Edge Mode already has them, right? They've got them in Illinois, and they've got them in, was it New York? I can't remember the other state. And they've got 2 more states, North Carolina and Texas. So they obviously do have them running. They're already doing it. And now it's going to be considered this company's revenue. So we just need to wait and see the next quarterly report. And once it comes out, well, if the Bitcoin is going up, this company should go up with it. And each time Bitcoin goes up, this will probably ride up in sympathy with it if that's all they're doing. All right. I think she's probably at a pretty decent price right now. You can see she doesn't like to go much lower. And she's at a medium. She had a real big high and came right down, gave it all back up. So she could dip lower. You might get her down to here. If I go back, I think that's as far back as I can go without seeing too much. We'd have to go all the way back to here. Yeah, there too. So there are lower lows, but honestly, I think there was a snap here. Pivoting always concerns people. I don't know how much money they were making, except The chart said nothing. So the pivot should be good news. Maybe a delayed effect. Maybe a huge delayed effect because the market was a bully today. A huge bully, and this company may have been pushed down and the news just didn't have a chance to take off. And you may catch a run on this on a delayed effect. Wouldn't be the first time I've seen that. And that would be a good starting point, wouldn't it? Pretty much where it was, gee whiz, 3, 4, 5 days ago, 6, 7 days ago, it was right there. And if the news just came out today, it's like it never happened. So I keep my eye on this one, FWAV. It could do a delayed bounce tomorrow or even Wednesday. I have seen that happen if the market is harsh. All right, let's go take a look at another one. Now this next stock is pretty unique. It isn't about high tech or any special medicines or anything like that, but in my guesstimation, I would think that this company would be recession proof. I would think. I'll let you decide. This is MSNVF. That is Mission Ready Solutions. They finished the day at just under 23 cents. They were 17% down today. They are on the QX. That's the best tier on the OTC market, most transparent. They give us all the information about the company. I love it. They got everything in order over there, including independent directors for whenever they want to uplist. If they choose to uplist, they'd have to hit the $3 mark, but maybe they don't want to. I see here they're penny stock exempt. That means they don't have to abide by all the OTC filing rules. They've been in business long enough, and they have enough money in the bank to show they're not risky or a startup company. So they get that exemption. So even though they're 22 cents, they're not thought of as a penny stock, okay? So what is this company about? Well, they are a procurer. They get supplies for government contracts, and only the government. They don't deal with businesses. They don't deal with the consumer, only government contracts. And you figure those are always going to be needed and needing to be fulfilled regardless of what the economy is about. That's why I think it's probably recession proof. In any case, I'm not going to go through reading all of this, but Unifier is the primary business doing all of this. Missions Ready wholly owned subsidiary Unifier Inc. is a designated small business and an industry-leading manufacturer and distributor of over 1.5 million fire department, military, emergency service, and law enforcement products. Great. You know, they're always in business. Those people ain't going nowhere. With extensive knowledge and experience in providing solutions to the U.S. federal government, Unifier utilizes its highly efficient, scalable technology and infrastructure to provide procurement solutions. So they go out and they get the stuff for these government contracts, and that's all they do. So they had news today, like all that we're looking at today. So what was the relative volume about their news? Did they have any extra excitement? By golly, by gosh, they did. They normally do about 130,000. Today they did 630,000. So roughly 4 times as much. That is nothing to sneeze at. And what is their share structure? Anything decent? Can't complain. You can't complain. Can't complain. You can't complain. Well, you can, but we're not going to. It's 145 million. Not great, but we have seen worse. What are our financials like? Well, my goodness, those are pretty impressive, right? You can see they were back here at 2.2 million a few years ago, jumped to 16 million, and now look at this last year, 82 million. But don't get too excited. Let's shine this in the right light. That is gross revenues. You can see here the cost of it. They had to buy the items and then they resell them. What cost them $76 million to buy them. So the gross profit for them was $6 million, which isn't bad considering that the year before they were less than $2 million. So they are like 300% over on their revenues. That is not bad. All right, let's take a look at the news because that is why we're here. They got news today for a new contract. Mission Ready awarded USDLA contract valued at up to $200 million. Let's take a look at that. So this is the outline of the contract that they got. It is an indefinite delivery and an indefinite quantity contract to facilitate the delivery of the products through the company's vendor network in support of the United States Defense Logistic Agency Troop Support Clothing and Textiles Supply Chain. Very specific. Up to $200 million. Now, we just saw for $82 million, the company made $6 million. So you figure for $100 million, they're roughly going to make about $8 million. So they would make about $16 million on this $200 million contract if it reaches that ceiling. And the contract is based on 1 year of ordering, but they have a 1-year option sitting in the back if things go good. Now they tell us here that Mission Ready, a provider of comprehensive government contracting solutions, announced that through its wholly owned subsidiary Unifier, the company has been awarded a contract for COTS shelter system. A little more information here. The team at Unifier has put a tremendous amount of time and energy into this solicitation. They've been working on this particular contract since May 2020. So you're looking at almost 18 months to read this piece of news that we're reading today. So whatever the stock is doing, it probably isn't reacting strong enough because this is really good news. So what exactly is the COTS order? Just so we know, the COTS Shelter System Program is a multiple award prime vendor contract that is structured to accommodate the addition of products through the life of the contract. The program's supply chain at present offers military tents, parts, and support equipment. Now this is kind of interesting. The U.S. federal government contracting, an IDIQ, is a type of contract that provides for an indefinite quantity of supplies of servicing during a fixed period of time. And that's what they are getting, is IDIQs, indefinite amounts. So they don't know how many they're going to be delivering, so they can't even project how much they're going to be doing, which is what they tell us here too. The gross margins on revenues generated pursuant to the COTS contract is not expected to differ materially from the company's historical gross margins. They're basically telling us they're not going to charge them any less, they're not going to charge them any more. It's going to be basically the same prices that they use. So we go back to the math. If they have a $200 million contract, they should get $16 million profit out of that. Considering they did $6 million this year and $2 million last year, well, that looks like solid growth to me in multiple tiers. So it's looking really good. So let's go take a look at that chart and see what it looks like. MSNVF, 6-month, 4-hour downhill run. I mean, she had a dip here. Dip. And that was about all we got, was this one big cup, which should have gone the other direction, but poured out. It just sieved all the way down till we hit a serious low bubble. Now remember, folks, this ain't the only low bubble. You see anything else in here? So every time it went deeper down, it hit a new low bubble. So this has had low bubbles for months after month after month after month. So we are not going to call this low bubble a catalyst. It isn't. It just happens to be the last one we see before it decided to change direction. And change direction it did. You can see that we were way down underneath every single simple moving average line. And it busted through all of them, including the 50 and the 200, and surpassed the 200. Folks, it hasn't been over that 200 in, 5 months? 4.5 months. So that was a power punch today. I want to come down to 1 month. Take a look at this. This is a 1-hour chart here. All right, you can see she leveled out there. She's just right underneath the 200, just dribbling down, falling faster, hit a low bubble in this time period, kept going sideways until the news today, or is that yesterday? Yeah, see, that's Friday. And I don't believe, let's go check, if there was any news Friday. Well, I see we had news. Well, by golly, by gosh, the news we're looking at is from Friday, not today. And they had news the day before that. So, my bad telling you that this news came out today. This did come out on Friday. And that's what had it running on Friday. Today, it took that dip after the run. Shame on me for missing that. But the fact of the matter is, the contract is there. The contract hasn't even been started yet. They just told us about it, and it's been worked on for 18 months. So it is a serious contract. But again, let's look at this over the 4 hour. It's had no love, has it? Now, I don't know if it's because it's just not in the news, it's not high tech, there's no app that you can play with, there's nothing pretty to look at, it's all government. But you know, if they keep making money, the company becomes undervalued. And sooner or later, it has to start growing, right? Now, I see there was a lot of volume here. Normally there's not. You can see it's very little volume, and we saw it was 4 times as much today. And that was today, not Friday. So maybe we missed it, maybe we didn't. Maybe this is a wake-up call. In either case, the company has value. It has been growing steadily year after year by leaps. And if this contract, as it sounds, goes to its full hilt, it's going to be bounds. They're going to go from 2 million to 6 million revenue profit to 16 million, not counting any of the other contracts that they've got going on right now. That's just this one DLA contract we're discussing. So this company seems to me to be, the price is under what it's worth, and it's just becoming a bigger gap. So I would look at this. It is now over the 200. If it dips below the 200, I think it's a buy sign. I think this could turn around, but again, it hasn't had a lot of attention. It hasn't been getting a lot of love. There's not a lot of spotlight on it. And until it does turn around, you really don't want to get into it. But with a wake-up call, you may want to take a small position. You may want to see if it goes down a little lower. Watch that 200. If it starts to pull away from that 200, you may want to consider that this finally woke up and people see value in it. All right, one more for tonight. Let's go check it out. So this is FFLO, FFLO. She is currently at 18.5 cents, and she had finished at 63% down. However, that wasn't today. I'll explain that in a minute. She's on the QB, the middle tier, so she audits all of her records, transparent company, verified profile, and a transfer agent. So she's in good shape. So what exactly is this company? Well, the company is in the business of new and used auto parts. Accurate Auto Parts Inc. and FFLO, Inside Auto Parts Inc. disassembles salvaged automobiles and sells pre-sorted automobile parts. Doesn't sound like a great business, does it? And the news today sounds like it's a little off base, but when you think about it, it's right there. It's where it belongs. So what was the volume today? What sort of relative excitement was there based on this news? Nothing. Not a thing. They didn't sell one share today. As a matter of fact, they haven't sold any for a while, and I don't know why. If we scroll down here, you can see the trade data. This will show you the most current trades. Well, theirs aren't today. This is July, June, and May. Now, I have looked everywhere. I tried to find information wherever I could, and I could not find out why this company is not selling. Doesn't look like it's in any trouble. I don't see any bad filings or warnings anywhere. It's not halted on the halt market. I don't see it listed there, so I honestly cannot tell you. What I do see here is that the price went from $1 down to the 50 cents, hit 37, came back up to $1, and has now fallen all the way down to 18 cents. Now, I don't blame it, being what the company is. You know, getting used parts off of cars that they bought and selling them online. You know, they're probably doing it on eBay or something. I don't know. But the news today is definitely a whole different type of news for what they do. So what is their share count? Is it worth even messing around with? Because obviously this is going to have to go on your watch list. How about 6 million? 6 million worth waiting for? When this thing flies, it flies high. With 6 million shares, all it's going to need to do is come back on the market. Seriously, all this thing has to do is come back on the market, and it's going to fly. So that's going to be a bit scary. Honestly, it's going to soar. What other information can we get here? Her finances, what are they like? Well, a few years back, she was doing about $250,000, and the last couple of years, she's been doing $500,000. So she is making money, but I think what she's doing now is going to change her finances completely. So let's get over to that and look, what is the deal? Here's the news, folks. FFLO Inc. announces agreement to acquire leading esports simulating racing and media platform. Not a joint venture. They're buying this company and it's already in business. Take a look at this. They tell us here that FFLO Inc., with the subsidiaries in automotive and investment sectors, today announced a definitive acquisition agreement under which the company will acquire GTR24H, a leader in the simulation racing esports, gaming as a service. The proposed business acquisition has been approved by the board of directors and is expected to close the first quarter of 2022. So once they close, this company will start to get their revenues because this company's already in business. Through the proposed business acquisition, GTR24H is positioned to become one of the leading European esports and media and sim racing event companies and distribution channels to Motorvision TV, ESTV, and in 2022 to Eurosport TV to become part of a U.S. publicly traded company. See, this is going to be big. Folks, if you don't know about sim racing in Europe, in Germany, is growing at an incredible rate. You can make a couple $1,000s a year sim racing. You can make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year sim racing. And it's no little game. These are big units that have multiple screens that give you three-dimensional view, and these things drive like cars. They wear tires out, they have damage and drag, you got to refuel. I mean, this is serious gaming, and they're paying you to drive, but you see the equipment there. So this is definitely going to be a huge market, and it's open for grabs right now because the metaverse is just touching these markets right now. And that's what it says here. GTR24H is the next generation of metaverse entertainment for the next generation. Now, this is long-winded, but it really tells us everything we need to know. The company produces premium esports and sim racing events content, merchandise, and consumer products, and creates advertising and sponsorship programs for leading technology and esports-ready advertisers. With a global prospective audience reach of over 400 million through distribution partners and networks, which include Motorvision TV and in 2022, Eurosport TV, the company is positioned as the first esports media broadcasting and commentary platform and sim racing events platform to unlock key relationships with coveted demographics among millennials and Generation Z influencers across the metaverse, groups that have long proven difficult to reach for traditional media companies and advertisers. Folks, it's a huge market they're tapping into. The metaverse is big. The sim racing is big. And to go from auto parts, used salvage parts, to sim racing is big. So I expect this company to make some real good money. Problem is, we can't jump into the stock right now. So for whatever it's worth, let's go take a look at that chart. So there you have it, FFLO, FFLO. We are looking at a year chart. That's right, a year. Now I can get as close as 4 hours. It won't let me get any closer than that. I just guess there's no data there, so they're not going to show me anything. So if I come in on 4 hours, there it is. You've got the last sale here was on July 28th, just as we saw on the data. And you really, I mean, I go back that year, there hasn't been a lot of trading. I don't know what's going on. I don't know how the stock can trade if it's not trading. How can it even be on the market if they're not going to put it up for sale? So I can't tell you when this is going to go on the market. I don't know if it's going to come on the market. I don't know why it's off the market. All I know is that it's a junk company, literally a junkyard, A junk company that has now hit a home run with a great product. And I have got to imagine that that company is going to want to be public. That is what they talked about, is their GTR24H company going public. What good does it do if your stock isn't selling? So I get the feeling that this is going to be some sort of reverse merger where this company, and it says that the people running the sim racing company are going to continue running the sim racing company. They're not going to have the auto parts people come in and run it. So maybe there's going to be a change of management in the leadership of FFLO, and we will see this company get whatever taken care of it needs to get taken care of, get back on the market, and then an opportunity sits there waiting for, well, a new sim, esports TV. I mean, really, they're taking this to TV. You know what kind of audience that will be? Impressive. So when this comes on the market, it's probably going to jump, folks. We won't know. They're not going to send you an email saying it's going back on the market in 20 minutes. Get ready. I wish they would. This will just surge, and it'll probably blast up here to $1. Honestly, it could go past $1. I've seen these things just do ridiculous runs as soon as they come on. Of course, they do fall back down. But boy, if you can catch those runs initially, you can just jump out anytime going up and make a lot of money. So put this on your long watch list. Don't forget to check in on it every now and then, and maybe you'll get a lucky shot in on a brand new company that has done a reverse merger. That is really what it is, as far as I can tell, and hopefully they're going to get this thing up and running so that they can make some money and we can make some money. So a mixed bag of nuts there, a little of this, a little of that. News from today, news from Friday, sorry about that, accidents happen. And even one that we're going to just have to keep on our watch list with FFLO. But it's at a great price. If you could happen to get in at that price, I think that is really going to tear it up. Honestly, when you see these companies come back on the market, there is such a surge of excitement. It's like champagne corks popping. Really is, really is. So remember, folks, there's a lot of information out there. I only cover a little bit when we look at these, and I only cover a little bit of what's out there from the day. So do your own DD. There's all sorts of ways to do it. Follow social media, go to the investment hub, see the top boards, go to otcmarkets.com, look at the most active stocks. Lots of information. Remember, the more you know, the more you're going to grow. See you, folks.